Hi everyone, Max from Enactivate here, and I'd like to talk today about breathwork versus meditation, meaning what is breathwork, what is meditation, what are the differences between these practices. This is something a lot of people ask me, and I'm going to explain that in a very short, simple way. So there's going to be some overlap. There's not going to be a perfect definition of meditation, a perfect definition of breath work. There's going to be a little bit of overlap in these practices, but each has some unique characteristics, and I think each is more suited to different people. So if we take meditation first, what is meditation? It's more of an open focus practice. There are different meditations that have quite specific techniques, but generally it's going to be longer form, more open focus. It's not going to have a very specific outcome. So it might have a general outcome towards something like a peaceful state, or a joyful state, or a calm state, something like that. And we're going to generally spend quite a bit of time to work towards that state with an open focus. So meditation is a great tool, something I've done for 33 years in my life, but there are some pitfalls. Now, what's one of the pitfalls, especially if we're talking about as a beginner approaching this? One of the pitfalls is because you're going to be generally spending quite some time in a meditation, and because there's not going to be a very specific point to focus on during that time, a lot of people are going to be thinking about this, thinking about that, and it can get to the point where you get caught up in your own thinking loop so much that you're not really doing a meditation. You're just thinking about stuff as you would normally, and it's very easy to get caught in that loop because it's a longer exercise and because there isn't a clear point of focus to kind of follow along with. It's more of an open focus. So breath work, what is that, and how does that contrast? Breath work tends to be shorter in general. It might be 5 minutes, 10 minutes. I mean, you can do breath works of all different types of length, but you can start with a 5 or 10 minute breath work. Meditation tends to be significantly longer than that. And in a breath work, you're going to have a specific point of focus, a specific outcome that you want to generate. And that could be all kinds of things. For example, here in Japan, I have breathworks for people for pregnant ladies. And that's very specific to help them relax, to help them connect with their baby. There's breathworks for children. There's breathworks for preparing for sleep. So there's a specific focus, a theme to the breathwork. It's shorter. And during that time, I guide the breathwork. So there's BGM, there's like relaxing music or natural sounds. I guide the breathwork. So I'm giving some points of focus to guide them and assist them in getting the outcome that they want, in focusing in on the target. And that's going to make it much easier than an open focused meditation, which also has a lot of value at the right time, but it's just going to be much easier to get lost in that long open focus, as opposed to having a guide essentially guide you through a breath work with a specific focus. For most people, doing a breath work with a specific focus is going to yield better results. Short period of time, you've got someone guiding you, you've got some gentle music which assists in that process, rather than diving straight into a longer form meditation, which is an amazing practice and has amazing benefits, but maybe later on in the journey for most people. And I have found that people who tend to go into longer meditations to start with, it's almost like it becomes like an ego thing. I'm doing an hour a day, or I'm doing 90 minutes or 2 hours, and they can get very kind of pumped up about that, but it usually doesn't last for too long. And in many cases, they are spending a lot of that time, a huge amount of time, thinking about stuff in the same way you would be in your normal day. Whereas if you have a shorter exercise, start with 5 minutes. I think that's absolutely the starting point for most people. Go to 10 minutes with a breath work. Go up to 15, 20, 30, whatever. As your capacity to focus grows, you're going to be able to do more. You're going to be able to do longer exercises and get more out of them. And at some point, you're going to bring in more open focused meditation naturally as you evolve and as your ability to focus evolves. But if you rush that process, and if you want to say, oh, I've done my, hour-long thing or my 2-hour thing or whatever that is, it doesn't really mean anything. I really believe that is not the way to go. The way to go is, how long can you hold your focus for and really bring presence into that exercise? And a short breath work with guidance is going to facilitate that for most people in most situations. I didn't realize that in the beginning. I spent a lot of time doing long form open meditation, which I still do and I love because it's a very beautiful thing. But I realized that I wouldn't say waste time, but I certainly spent a lot of time inefficiently. And I don't know about you, but I want to use my time efficiently. I want to get the best result I can. I've got my family to deal with, my child to deal with, my work to deal with, my business. I don't want to spend 30, 40, 50 minutes spinning wheels and then have a focused time at the end of I want to be able to dive in with focus and really get the most out of an exercise, even if I only have 10, 15 minutes spare. When I have more time, I love to sit for longer periods of time and blend in breath work with meditation. And then you're getting the best of both worlds, but you don't always have time to do that. And certainly in the beginning, I wouldn't recommend that to people. Start small, build that practice, build your focus, enjoy that time. That's the whole point. Enjoy, learn, stay open. And that's, to me, these are the main differences between meditation and breath work. So I hope that benefits someone. Give us a like and a subscribe if you enjoyed this content. You can check out more of our material. There's a link below in the description. Thank you. See you in the next video.